Yeah. Okay, I just put the video on, so keep your comments to yourself. So the market just opened. Right now, Palantir PLTR is hitting VWAP, but there's no way it's going to hold it. But I'm not doing. I'm going to go short on it. See what happens in the morning. Personally, I think it's going to go down because Trump wanted to put new tariffs on. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, on Apple.
Yeah, on Apple and on the European Union and stuff. But I think that could definitely hurt the market a little bit today. So I'm going to go. Right now, Apple's down almost $6, $5.50. So I just went short on Palantir, PLTR. But again, it's I'm just going general mood of the market. So it hit what's called VWAP and volume weighted average price. So I just did a small position. I think it's going to go down, but I'm not 1,000% sure. Like you're never 1,000% sure of anything. So I'm in it at 121.18 and it's trading at 121.41, 45. So I could be wrong this second, which I look like I am, but it's only down 70 cents, give or take. Usually in the morning, there's a hard move up or down with Palantir. That's why I don't mind taking it. But right now I'm in it. I'm down a little bit on it. Not a big deal. I don't want to finish the weekend down money, but hey, things have happened worse. You know that.
Hey, well, I'll do this later. I got something I got to do real quick.
All right. I'll talk to you later,
We'll
buddy.
talk later.
Bye bye.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
All right. So right now I'm into Palantir, and I think personally, like I said, it's going to run out of steam. It's at 122, so I'm going to hit it again. It's clawing back, which, like I said, I'm always torn when I short stocks because a lot of times you look at it and you're into something and everything else you have, you're going long on, your retirement accounts and whatnot. So, but this one I'm actually into for about 3,000. So what I'm going to do is let me call another buddy of mine that trades with me and let me see if I can get him on the phone. Uh, Hold on a second. I don't know where the hell this number is. I don't really care either. So I'm into this. This thing has climbed up to 122.22. It's really making a move up there, but it's going to run out of steam. There's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind that this thing's going to run out of steam. It's showing a positive, but there's not a chance in hell. So I'm going to start laying it in. I'm in 5,000 shares of it right now. So you could see right now where it's basically hit into as a resistance level right there. I'm down about 3,000, 2,800, give or take. And we're looking for the reversal on this thing any moment right now. So let's see what happens. It's at 122.43. When it gets to, I mean, listen, I can definitely ride this thing up for another dollar. That's where I can definitely see it riding up for another dollar, which would put me at about $1,000. But I don't think it's going to. So I'm going to guess, and it's really a guess at this point, that it's running out of steam now. So let's see. I've hit my first break point right there. That's where I think it's going to come down, and that's what it seems to be doing right now. I'm into it for 8,500 shares. So at this point, I'm down 3,000, 3,700, 3,800, and I'm hoping this thing really runs out of steam. It started reversing, and then I could, don't get me wrong, I can get caught at any moment. It's at 122.70, so I'm down about 5,200. So 5,400, 5,600, 57, 61. So we're hoping this thing runs out of steam, that Trump worked his magic again today, and he's going to basically show us a little flush here right now. And it's starting to flush. We have not seen a profit on this thing and come hella high water at this point. There's a lot of buying going back into this, but I think it's just basically a little charge up before you get the flush. And this is what I'm hoping for. When it flushes, it's going to flush hard, in my opinion. We're definitely going short on this thing all day long. There's no way you can see this thing turning around and being a positive. In my opinion, there's no way whatsoever. So let's see what happens. We'll hold on to this a little bit. It's strong right now, which I'm actually surprised. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot stronger than I thought it would be. but it's definitely showing signs, cracks right there. If we look into the market maker's book right now, yeah, you're definitely seeing a lot of volume. Well, Palantir always has a tremendous amount of volume, always, you know. So we're in it for right now at 8,500 shares at 122.12. So that's our break point right there at 122.12. It's starting to come back down. There we go. Okay, there we go. We're only down about 800, 300, and now we're finally seen a profit. Okay, so we've seen a profit at this point, and now we haven't. So we've just got to see this thing keep dying down. I'm looking at 120.76. Okay, so if this thing can die, we're right there. We're right there on our position right now. We're literally at break. I mean, I'm down 1,400, which is literally break even for me. You know, you're talking about 20 cents away from our money, 30 cents. So it's not a big deal. It's just gonna, oh, well, that was bad. Right there, it got bought up completely when it did that dip. So it really just charged back up and it got bought up completely. It showed a huge candle basically coming down there. So I'm not a huge fan of that one. Hopefully, like I said, it'll step in there again and it'll basically keep flushing down. We're seeing 30s and 20s right now. You know, the flush looked like it was happening right there, but it hasn't. It's holding up right now, which I'm not worried about it. It hasn't really charged because, like I said, the upside on this is 123.77. Which I don't want to see because I'll be out a tremendous amount of money. I'll be out almost $10,000. But right now, it's right there. It's showing the flush, you know, but it keeps getting bought up. So that's the part that sucks. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. Okay, we're pennies away. Pennies from heaven. So we're in the 20s, the teens. We're starting to touch on the teens. If we can get that flush below 122, you know, we'll be good. Okay, there we go. There we go. See, this is why I love using this platform, because when I click it and I know what I want out, I get what it's out. If you were to use a market order in any other scenario, I could put in for, you know, when it's showing teens, and then boom, I'm down $3,000 essentially. So like I said, it's holding up there. I don't think it's going to hold up there. It keeps bouncing up, but the trend is showing that it's a downward trend, but there has not been a flush on there. So that's, you know, that's the one thing that's concerning me at this point, that the flush has not happened as quickly as it should. You know, we're 8 minutes into this market right now. It's 9:38.50. We've been into this trade for 8 minutes. And usually, you know, I'm gone, long gone. You know, so right now, I feel confident at 122.12. You know, we're right there. Oh, there we go. We starting to see 7s and 8s and 4s. Now we're starting to see the breakdown. It's got to break down between below 122, and then you'll get a massive flush on this thing. That's what we're looking for. And there it is, 190, 91s, 97s, 93s. We're up about $1,200, $200 minus blah, blah, blah. So it's holding up. I'm not going to say it's not holding up. It's definitely holding up right there, and it still doesn't want to give us our profit today. It just shot back up there again to the 30s. So at 122, at that level, there was a tremendous amount of buying going into it. You know, and like I said, there was a tremendous amount of orders you could see on the books right there with the market makers and everything. There was a tremendous amount of backlog on it. So that's what they have to flush out of, and hopefully nothing else comes below it. You know, so right now, you know, it's breaking 122. It's trying to break 122, get into 121, but every time it hits it, you're seeing a bounce up there, and that's basically the orders that are stacked up on there. So when you see something and it bounces on 122, those orders have been there a while. When it clears out finally, that's when you're going to see a nice momentum downwards, okay? So like I said, as long as the orders are stacked up on there, you're going to see some orders stepping on top of it, getting below it, but it has to clear out there. And then at that point, once it clears out, then you're going to get the flush down. So right now, we're in the 90s, 121.90. We're showing a small profit, nothing big, nothing major. You know what I'm saying? It's there. If we can get that flush down now, that would be awesome. Like I said, I would like to see it where it gets into the one. So VWAP right now is showing right there. VWAP is going to be right around there. Okay, so we're starting to get into the 80s. All right, there we go. 72. We're up about $2,400. And to be honest with you, if I get a little bit more than this, I'm going to get out of here and call it a weekend because Memorial Day is coming up. And for all the veterans out there, and that was my buddy was just on the phone who is a veteran, great guy, known him for a long time. He's just starting to learn how to trade, and he's been profitable a couple days in a row. So that's a buddy of mine, and like I said, it's bouncing back up. I should have gotten out. Whatever. What are you gonna do, right? You live and learn. So right now, I gave away $3,000, and now I'm down. I'm up $125, which just absolutely annoys the shit out of me. But it did bounce off of a VWAP. Let's give it another couple minutes, and then we'll call this a day. We get back there, and we'll just buy it back up. Hopefully, like I said, we'll get $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 out of this thing. If we don't, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's been a great week. I can't complain about it one way or the other. Whoops, the screen just went blank. I love when that happens, man, when my screen goes blank. Okay, so I'm up $3,100. I've had that happen where all of a sudden I look at it and next thing I know, I see it where I'm down. So it happens, So come on. We're up about $3,000 right now. And it's just fluctuating there. Shit. Trying to figure out what I should do. Come on, I want that big push down, and it's not doing it. It's holding up nicely. Shit. Okay, we're in the 80s. Come on, there we go. 78. This is the part. If we can get to that $0.50, I'd like to get to 121.50. That's what we're projected to go to. It's bouncing off a VWAP a couple times. Come on. Right there, it's bouncing off a VWAP. So there's a lot of protection for that right now. So that's what's killing me. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. What are you going to do, right? If it breaks down here, then we're going to see a nice move down. Okay, that's what we're hoping for. And it's starting to look like it's working. There we go. I think it might have ran out of gas right now. Okay, there we go. We're up 5. So at this point, we're up 1-to-1. But let's see how far we can take this thing down to. It's starting to really dissolve itself. Like we said, it really definitely looks like, come on, break down below 50. Break down below 50. That's what we wanted to do, is get below 50. And if we can get a little bit more than that, right now we're at 55, 54. Oh, jeez, someone just brought this shit in there, man. Losers. What a bunch of losers. Oh, shit. This is the part that pisses me off, I'm waiting to get out, but I don't want to lose. And I don't want to lose, next thing, giving back $3,000, $4,000. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, listen, I'm right. I'm right on this trade. But it's not about being right or wrong. It's just seeing what's supposed to happen. So right now, you just have a lot of momentum going that's been stacked up there before. So you get some big orders that pop in there. And like I said, if this thing breaks above 80, I'm gone. Simple as that. If it breaks above 80, I'm buying it. I'm filling the order up and getting out. Until it breaks above 80, I'm going to stay in it. Right now it's starting to touch into the 40s, and which is awesome. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at 48, 44. Okay, so now we're starting to get some downside momentum. Definitely gets. Now we got the 30s, 20s. I see 20s. So we're up about a little over Well, I mean, it's bouncing. You can't say until you close out the trade what you're really up, you know? So I could see that I'm profitable. You can see that I'm profitable. But now that we've broken VWAP, you know, I would like to see this thing get below 121. That's my goal right there. But again, if it gets above 121.60, I'm gonna go, because now you know you're gonna be showing that it's breaking the trend and it's reversing. At 121, I'm hoping that it gets below 121. That's my goal right here. But it's like I said, nothing goes up straight. Oh my God, this fucking monitor. Well, sorry about that. So, I wonder what's going on today. That's weird. You know? Okay, so at least every time I keep clicking back into this thing, man, it's still showing me that it's going down. So I'm at 121, 24, 20s. I'm about 76, 7,500. So this is going to turn into a monster trade for me. I'm in it at 122.12. So right there, I'm going to get $1 out of this thing, which you can't complain. You know what I'm saying? You can't complain. Let's see how much further it goes down. 17, 16, 15. Almost $1. Almost $1. And then it just bounces right back up. What a loser. Come on. It's always funny because you see the momentum. You see where it's going. And you could definitely see where, you know, what's happening. But when you're emotionally tied into something like this, you know, that's when it's hard to look at it, you know. And there we go. We're at 121.06, 01, 99. There we go. It just broke 121. So now I've lowered my stop and my mental stop to 121.30. So if it breaks 121.30, I'm gone. I'm willing to give up a couple $1,000, but I still think this thing is going to keep making a chug down. We got the dollar into this right now. We're at 121, a little over 121. It's holding tight. You will always see then when you're playing larger stocks that at 50 cents and the dollar, the half dollar and the dollar is where you're going to have the most orders stacked up. Always, okay? Unless obviously something happens and they run through it, blah, blah, blah. But you'll always see at that half dollar and the dollar, that's when you're going to be looking at it and you're going to say, okay, fine, this is what, you know, can happen, and this is how it gets stacked up. So we've got $1 out of this thing. I've got it all loaded up at 8,500 to buy back, and I'm up about $8,600 roughly. And if it breaks 30, I'm gone. Simple as that. I'm not going to give back my whole day just, you know, because I want extra pennies and stuff. And I'm lying right now. I'm at 30s. 38. 38, 31, 35, 37, 20s. I'm just seeing what happens with this candle. If we do get another flush down. If not, I'm good as gone. You know, you can't complain when, you know, you've gotten a nice chunk of change on this. This will start my weekend off in a great mood, you know. So granted, if I lost, it wouldn't have affected my mood one way or the other. It really wouldn't have. Don't get me wrong, I don't like to lose money, but I look at it from a monthly balance sheet, you know, a quarterly balance sheet. So not one loss or not one win is going to change anything. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, if you lose $6,000 a day for 10 days in a row, guess what? Your quarterly sheet. All right, I'm gone. I'm up $6,100 for the day. There's my profit. Okay, so that's one trade, one done. All right. So have a great weekend. Any questions? Just direct message me, and that's for my buddies. All right. If you losers can't get on, you're a loser. Bye.